What's up, y'all? So, in the meantime, while the bike's down, I figured I would go over some stuff, uh, kind of like behind the scenes, maybe. I don't know if any of this even interests you guys, but I wanted to show a little bit of what I do to my videos when I edit them. So, I took this little clip of a wheelie uh, when I rode with the Louisiana guys, and you can see here what it looks like now. One thing that I always do, because my microphone, sorry, my nose is all stopped up, so y'all forgive me, but something I always do is my microphone's a left and a right. It's a stereo mic. So I always come down here and hit channels and combine. So that just makes that one audio. So you can hear the sound of it before if I don't do it. Let's see, both. So you get an idea of the sound. And then if I combine them, it's a little bit more even. It doesn't have so much of a stereo sound. And in a setting like this, I don't really want stereo sound. So the next big thing that I do is color correction stuff. So I'm always going to add, this is Sony Vegas 14 by the way, I'm always going to hit brightness and contrast, color corrector, and color curves. Those are my three biggest ones. Now contrast, I keep my ISO settings on my GoPro kind of high. That way at night, when we ride or whatever, it picks up better light, so, but during the daytime it can make it look a little flushed. So I take this contrast and I'll just bring it up just a little bit, just until it starts to look right. You can kind of see, here it's a little washed out, so really not that much on the contrast. Color corrector, now here's a big thing. There are defaults for color corrector here that you can use, which are okay, but I like to drag the wheel myself to make what I want out of it. So on this day in particular, color correction, you can make this scene look to be whatever you want it to be. This day it was like middays, like noon, 1 o'clock. It's fairly warm outside, so I'm not going to add too much yellowish green in here, but I'm going to add quite a bit of blue. So I'm just going to go to the lows, and I'm going to drag this over, and you can kind of see, like, I don't want to add too much to where obviously it's just blown out. But I'm going to put it right in here somewhere on this low, and then do the same thing with the mids and the highs. Just drag a little bit of blue in here, but not too much. See, I don't want to add so much blue. I'm going to come up this way just a little bit, because I don't want to add so much blue that it looks cold outside. I want it to look warm and, how it was. So we'll take and get a little closer to the blue right there. Now also take and drag the saturation up just a little bit to give it a little bit more color. Okay, and then the last thing is the color curves. So this lets you adjust the light in your video to be, you can pick up the lows or lower the highs. So you can just kind of drag it around and play with it. So drag this over. We'll take the highs down some. So now that doesn't look too much different, but when you look, on the right was the original and the left is what we ended up with. So you can see it's a pretty considerable difference. So now we'll just play that through from the beginning. You can see the differences. Now I'm not necessarily trying to go with more of a cinematic look, but I want something that's a little bit more colorful and that just looks a little better. So, and then of course I add the intro and stuff like that, but I don't do any kind of like specialized effects or anything. I mean, GoPros are good cameras for what they're made for, but cinematically, they're not really the best. But anyways, if you take away this stuff though, I'm going to show you guys what I was doing before, which you can still do, which is just fine. So I take away that, and you can go back, just forget the brightness and contrast and just do color curves or color corrector and then color corrector secondary. And there's two ways that I used to like to do this. You go to the default and go all the way down to blue highlight. So you go to the bottom and then come up one, highlight the blues, and then go to the secondary and go to darken mids. And now you can see that that's, a lot of my videos I was doing this with, and it gives it a pretty okay look. I think it's a little bit more on the cinematic side and still looks a little bit flushed. So that's why personally on the color corrector I like to just do it myself. And I mean, you can just like right about there, I mean that looks a lot better versus, you know, that. So anyways, hope you guys liked it. Just a little bit more behind the scenes stuff about, you know, how I do things and what I use and that sort of stuff, because I want the quality of the video to be as best as I can get it. So anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later.